Hey fellow collectors, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be taking a look at Professor Xavier from the Marvel Legends Marvel 80 Years series. And as you guys can see, Professor X comes in that gigantic window box packaging that you see all of the figures with bikes come in. A very large XMen logo on the front, of course the Marvel 80 Years, and on the back you can take a look at and see what it looks like when it's all put together. There's a few different product shots here, and of course you can see that in this particular wave, Deadpool was the other run mate for this guy. So let's go ahead and get Professor Xavier out of the packaging and take a look at him. Alright guys, so here is Professor Xavier out of the packaging, and at the end of this video I'll have a time lapse of me getting him out of the packaging. It's a bit of a chore to do it, but I really like how this turned out. I gotta be honest with you, when I first seen the first wave of these figures with vehicles, I knew I had to have the Deadpool one on the scooter, and I knew I had to have Professor Xavier as well. Now, this particular wheelchair hovercraft that he has reminds me of the one that he had in the animated series back in the 90s, and I knew I had to have him in my collection. It took me some time to be able to pick him up, and I just picked him up this past Fan Expo. I'm really glad to have him in my collection. Now, I want to point out a few really cool things about the hovercraft, or the hover chair, I should say. But before we do that, I want to take a really quick look at Professor Xavier himself. I think they did a really great job with the head sculpt. He looks really great. I like the jacket, or the suit that he has on, I should say. My only gripe with this figure is that mine doesn't want to stand up. Other than that, I think it's very well done. Now, he also comes with Cerebro, and this back piece can actually come off, so you could just have him wearing Cerebro himself. Mine's a little warped. I have to keep moving the front part there around a little bit, but that's also really well done. Of course, he comes with the Shadow King head that goes on the King pole, I think, or correct me if I'm wrong, Kingpin, sorry. Figure that was a Build-A-Figure a while back. I don't have that figure. It's cool to have the head, but whatever. It'll be put in my parts bin. And then, of course, there is the hovercraft. This part does go right in here on top of his legs. I'll show you here in a second what he looks like in the actual hovercraft, or hover chair, but I want to show you some really cool detail. It's got a lot of detail in this. I like it being in the gold. It does snap together when you're putting this together. I like the marbleization in the gold. I like the fact that he has the hovering icon, or feature here. This can also come out and he can just set it right on the table. It sits fine. There's no problem with doing that. He does have the chair in here, and the side pieces actually move back, and you have some controls and stuff, which is really cool. So let me go ahead and get him put into the chair, and we'll take a look at him in there. Alright guys, and here he is in the actual hover chair itself. And to be honest with you, I don't really care that the figure doesn't stand on its own, because honestly, he's going to be in this chair or hovercraft, whatever you want to call it, for the majority of the time that I own him. Honestly, they could have just gave me the top half of the figure. I would have been fine. That stated, guys, I'm really psyched to have this in my collection. I have quite a few figures in my collection from Marvel Legends with the iconic look from the 1990s X-Men animated series, and I'm glad to have this one to join it. I really want to put a display up of all those figures. I'm a kid of the 80s and the 90s. I love the Ninja Turtles. I love the animated X-Men series, Batman series, Spider-Man series, and Gargoyles. They were like my top 5 when I was growing up. And I'm lucky and privileged to be able to have these figures. Anyway, guys, I hope that you liked this review. If you did, please click on the like button below. If you're not already subscribed, by all means, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click on that bell notification so you can be updated whenever I release new content on my channel. And as always, guys, stay nerdy.